Hi, I'm Mike Levin from MikeLevinSEO.com, and we're working on the Gropey project, and we're at the point we're going to step through the functions and arguments that are named in the row with an index of 0 and determine whether they are functions in the system or not. So it's going to be a direct grab for that row. It's going to be for, I'll recycle item in, but this time I can go right for S, the index of 0, and that's going to return the key item. So that's going to return 1, 2, 3, but I'm actually interested in the values. So I'm going to print item. Let's see. So I'm actually stepping through each of those, and for item in S0, so I go right for S0, and those items are going to be the key values. So let me just do that initially. See what that gives me. Oh yes, every for statement needs to end in a colon. There it is, as I imagined, the 1, 2, 3. Now the 1, 2, 3 needs to be the index that get plugged in to that item. So I guess what I really want to do is S square bracket numerical 0 or string 0, and then item gets plugged in as its key. Now you're going to see the function names, or the potential function names instead, foobar and lumberjack. Now here's the interesting thing, and this is why I have this second tab opened here. I want to show you the globals object. So first we just go into the interactive Python environment, and I can just type globals, and it will show me a bunch of stuff that's in there as global values. And it so happens to be that when you define a new function, and you can see I can just run this. That's the string representation of the function. You need to give it its parentheses to actually invoke the function. It's there, it's a function. Where is that function? If you look along this string, you'll see it gets broken on the line here, but there it is. Foo is a member of globals, has a key. So we go back over here, and I can now do some checking as we iterate through this thing. And this long thing here needs a nickname. We shall call it fname for function name. Function name equals that. If fname in globals print fname, or remember our little trick, %s is a function. name, else fname is not a function. And when we run this, they're all going to show not a function. Foo is not a function. Bar is not a function. Lumberjack is not a function. But guess what we're going to do as our next step, just as, again, a method of proving this. Now, all these functions that are going to be the capabilities of the system are not really going to go in this file, gro.py, because they're going to be so dynamic and added. I don't want to mess up the main program flow and the core functions with all this ad hoc stuff. But for the sake of demonstration, we will go def lumberjack, open close parenthesis, colon, return, I'm okay. Not much of a function, but it is a function. And now if we pipe this through Python, foo is not a function, bar is not a function, lumberjack is a function. And now you can start to see things take shape here. In my mind, this is when this kind of system gets really exciting, because we're right on the edge of actually turning this into a batch job processor with extremely simple rudimentary capabilities, but before long we'll expand it to have such great capabilities that it can be considered in a category of frameworks, in my mind, like Ruby on Rails, or things like that, that kind of defined a new category of tools. They were frameworks before Ruby, but Rails made it joyful. And likewise, that's what I'm trying to accomplish here with almost a language and a convention for setting up very sophisticated online investigations for all sorts of purposes, as simple as running SEO positions and social media metrics to complex second and third degree investigations. So thanks for joining me. I hope that means something to some audience out there. And if you like it, please share and subscribe.